you just chump of the shark pit, tongue in the garbage, talking that shit, no adrenaline blockage, blood caked on my pitchfork, American Gothic, my love slave house train, no shit on the carpet, hit a nose with the
Aaron
newspaper, get
Beergard
the
Horror
loot
here.
later.
Just checking in and want to thank you all for looking at Maggot Mail number 8. For this issue of the Maggot Mail, I just have a few updates. For anyone on the mailing list who hasn't seen, I have announced on social media that All Smiles Until I Return, the hardcover version, has been released on Amazon, as well as the paperback. So the paperback's a little bit smaller, and it's also on ebook as well, so you can get it on Kindle. Now, the primary difference between the paperback, the Kindle version, and the hardcover is really that there's an exclusive essay that I wrote that sort of goes into the whole subject matter of the book, gives people sort of a peek behind the thought process that went into the book, and it's kind of philosophical, a little bit depressing maybe, but I think interesting and hopefully thought-provoking. So those are all available on Amazon now. So for anyone who wasn't aware, you can get your copy there. Again, for the 100 people who got the packages for All Smiles Until I Return, which have, the collectible bookmark and their adhesive book plate that's signed and numbered. Amazon's running a little bit slow. So those are going to probably be at my house about mid-January. So I know it's the holidays, and of course I hope everyone has an awesome holiday and you get to spend some time with your families. But I didn't want to take the payments in advance of that because I know, it's the holidays, of course, it can be kind of expensive. So I'm probably going to collect the payments right around when the books come, which is in mid-January, to make sure you guys have plenty of time. And, because you're not going to get the product probably until maybe like the third week of January if you're in the United States. But I'll ship them out immediately, try to get them out to you as soon as I can. And that's the wrap on All Smiles. I'm very excited to release the book. Again, it's an interesting read, I think. And it does have about 17, or if you include the author image, I think 18 illustrations inside the book. And all versions of the book contain the illustrations. So thank you for everyone who supported with the pre-order. And I'm hoping that everyone who is not so much interested in the signed copies and wants their hardcover, paperback, or ebook is satisfied that all the formats are available for them. So thank you. Secondly, I want to talk about Nightmare Nirvana real quick, because that's going to be the next book that's released. And that was a book that I've been working on for years. And it has a variety, I think it's like 60 some odd illustrations in it. You have the Zach Dunn oil painting art that's going to be the cover of the book. And that one's going to be different. It's I'm going to be releasing that in 7x10. It's more like a larger squared book because it's a real showpiece, and I think it could be a great coffee table horror book for people that want to just, you could pick it up and flip through. There's an illustration on almost every single page. So that's going to be really cool, and there's some fun stories. If you like scary stories to tell in the dark, think of like an adult version of that maybe. Because that's sort of what I had in mind, because I'm such a big fan of scary stories and Goosebumps and all that. And that's sort of my homage in my fun project, I guess. So be on the lookout. I think Nightmare Nirvana will probably be closer to a February release, potentially. Maybe slightly after. And then I also want to say I'm going to be working on something. If you guys watch my podcast, Written and Read, for anyone who watches it or doesn't watch it, it's a horror reader and writers podcast where basically we kind of shout out some different people that we think are doing good things with their horror writing, maybe people that you haven't heard of, maybe people that you have heard of. And then we talk about just being an author, how all of this works, how if you wanted to self-publish a book, you potentially could. We just hit 20 episodes. They're usually about an hour and change each. There's a YouTube show if you want to see it visually. I do the show with Daniel Volpe, Carver Pike, and Roland Bursey, all good friends of mine. And we have a great time, sort of just talking about author stuff and joking around. And we do our best to entertain people too. So with that being said, we did want to do a project because we've been doing the show for over a year now, I think. And one thing that we wanted to do was a special sort of written and read book that contains a short story from each of the four of us. And it's going to be a very special thing. I think it's going to be a limited run print. We can't really announce who it's with yet because we kind of got to get a little further in the process before we can do that. But it's somebody who's very reputable, somebody who multiple of us have worked with before, and a great guy. So that'll be revealed in the future. And I think that's probably going to come out, I would say, before April, maybe slightly. So 2022. And then last update, I think actually, I got a couple more updates. Might be a little bit of a long video. Another update is that I finished my next novel that's going to come after Nightmare Nirvana called Modern Hysteria. It ended up being novel length at about 52,000 words. And I just think it came out great. I was really happy with how it finished. It's pretty disturbing. I'm getting the artwork generated right now. So once that's up, you guys at the MAGGOT mailing list will be the first to see it. I'll be releasing it exclusively here. And of course, that'll have interior illustrations as well. And yeah, I'll be releasing some blurb details probably when I get the cover ready. So that's certainly something to look out for. I'm very excited to do that. And I think I also want to talk about my collaboration with Matt Shaw, Survivor's Guilt. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Matt Shaw's work. I think he's written over like 300 books or something like that. He makes all kinds of films and movies. Be sure to check his stuff out if you haven't, because he's a very talented author, and I'm just having a fucking blast writing this book with him. It's like we're each sort of writing one character in the book, and we're going back and forth playing off of each other, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of like, what's the other guy thinking, sort of. My character, it's about, I should say, it's about a man and a woman that meet at a Survivor's Guilt meeting. And for anyone who's not familiar with Survivor's Guilt, that's just like when a mass trauma occurs, such as like a shooting or an incident of violence. People survive those and they kind of come out of them sometimes wondering, well, why me? You know what I mean? Why did I survive? Why couldn't I have helped more people? There's a certain guilt that carries over with that people experience. And to the nefarious people in our book, I think, they're not at the meeting for the same reason as everybody else. Let's just put it that way. And it's going to be fucked up. I'll let you know in advance. Matt's work is pretty fucking, well, it is super extreme. And mine can be as well. And I think this is one that's going down a dark path. But it's very psychological too, I would say. A large portion of the book is incredibly psychological, and it's compelling with the story between these two characters. So please be sure to keep your eyes out on that one. Matt did put it up as available for pre-order right now. And so again, that's Survivor's Guilt, and you can pre-order on Amazon. Oh, okay, what else? Again, I got Scares That Care coming up in April, hopefully, if all the pandemic shit doesn't turd all over everything, because I really do want to do that event. And I've got, plenty of books that I'm going to bring and some different merch and stuff. And I'm just looking forward to seeing some of the readers, you know, that I've interacted with digitally. I think that'll be really fucking cool. So I'm hoping that that still goes through as planned. Audiobooks. So you guys know Wedding Day Massacre got released in audiobook format. And again, there is a big announcement that's going to be coming in the next few months with Wedding Day Massacre. So stay tuned to the MAGGOT mailing list to be up to speed on that. So you're definitely not going to want to miss this announcement. It's fucking crazy. But I do want to point out that I did also release Scary Bastard in audiobook form. So that is now on Audible, and you can listen to Scary Bastard by the same narrator, Cale Heath, as Wedding Day Massacre. And Cale's also working on All Smiles Until I Return. So hopefully the audiobook for All Smiles Until I Return will be out in the near future. I would say in under a month for sure. And I have found the voice of the SLOB. Not the SLOB. The voice of Vera, I should say. But she'll be narrating the SLOB. You know, once we get a little further along, I'll formally announce her. But I spent a lot of time looking for the right person to narrate this book because that character of Vera is so particular, I guess, and you know, important to readers that enjoyed the book. So I wanted to make sure that that character was done perfect justice, and I can tell you that the narrator that I've landed for the job, you know, she sounds exactly like I would imagine Vera to sound, and she just has that great, you know, warmth in her tone, the friendliness, the fear, the anger, the disgust, the whole melancholic attitude of the character. I mean, she just fucking nailed it. I found her and I reached out and asked her to do an audition, please, because I saw the potential there, and it was just as good as I would have imagined. So I'm extremely excited to announce that she'll be doing the SLOB and also Son of the SLOB. I told her that I really would like to maintain the same voice for both of the books. So look forward for that. I would say that could be as early as mid-January, the SLOB, or maybe probably more realistically, probably late January. So a lot going on, all kinds of shit going on. I'll go ahead and tell you guys too that I've got multiple ideas cooking up for the next thing that I'm writing. I've got quite a few things to choose from. But I think I really do want to go back down that road of like horror / crime. You know what I mean? Like how I did the pulp cover with the 15 cents, and you know, it was very pulp. It was pretty noir, you know, and some horror elements. I really do have a craving to get back to that. So you might be seeing another 15 cent splatter pulp cover from Aaron Beauregard horror in the near future, sometime next year, you know. So that's kind of on my radar as well. So I guess that's it for now, guys. Be sure to, also I think for this I'm gonna go ahead and give away some Scary Bastard audiobook codes. So if you're watching the video and the email, be sure to go to the Substack, be one of the first people to comment, and get yourself a free listen to the audiobook version of Scary Bastard on me. And yeah, I guess that's it. Shit, this video turned out to be a little bit longer than I thought, but I think it's necessary. There's a lot of shit going on, and I'm just glad that you guys actually care about it. And I hope that that you're excited for some of these upcoming things as I am. And I promise you that the announcement that's coming, if you're not excited, you certainly will be after the announcement. So again, thank you. I hope you all have an awesome, awesome holiday. Get to spend some time with your family and your friends. And until next time, keep it 100% horror.
Call me Tomb Raider, falling like the blue blazer to Lucifer's refuge, fornicating with some mutants that was grown in a test tube in a public restroom. Sodomy and shrooms, after I climax, the lobotomy resumes. Yeah, the kids so rude, they wanna give me the needle. Should've ripped me out my mama's stomach when I was fetal. I'm hitting so many cigs, got a future in chemo, till then I'll be like music's version of Quentin Tarantino.